Hey, what's up, Master Trainers? This is your host, Charlie Jonas here, straight out of Pacific Valley, and today we're gonna talk about what if all the Pokemon starters were in Pokemon UNITE. Alright, let's get started. Although, before we actually do it, just want to remind you that there's already 3 videos out there where I explain all the words behind each Pokemon name's origin from the Pokemon UNITE roster, alright? So if you want to check them out, I'm gonna be leaving the playlist up there in the cards. Okay, and in this video, we're gonna be covering the starters from the Generation 2, aka Johto, all the way to the Generation 4 Sinnoh, alright? Since it's going to be the part 1 of a 2-part video series. Alright then, so let's get started with the Generation 2, aka Johto, and let's get started, of course, with Meganium, alright? In my opinion, it could be a ranged support Pokemon, alright? And it's also gonna be a grass type only. That's because its base stats highlights are defense and special defense. So it could either be a very good defender or a very good supporter. But do its type, yeah, I think it's something pretty much like the Eldegoss, yeah, so I see it as a supporter grass type. And its moveset, yeah, could be made of moves like Petal Dance, that could be a kind of a buffer, right? And also Magical Leaf, that could work as a healing move. And for the second option for the moveset, we could have Giga Drain, yeah, to steal life. Although this Giga Drain could be different than the Venusaur's, it could work in area, yeah, like stealing life from the opposing Pokemon in a 360-degree angle. And Aromatherapy, which actually could be the healing one, yeah, while the Magical Leaf could inflict damage to opposing Pokemon, but also heal ally ones, alright? And the ultimate one being something like the Petal Blizzard, yeah, something that strikes in area, causing a lot of damage, and perhaps even recovering as well the life of the ally ones, alright? Okay then, and then the next one is going to be Typhlosion, which in my opinion would be a very good fire type melee speedster. That's because the base stats highlights are special attack and speed. So it would be very quick and causing a lot of damage. Yeah, and also being of a fire type definitely reminds me of Talonflame. And its moveset could include some moves like Flame Wheel, that could be a kind of rollout of fire, yeah? Could be very aggressive, cause stuns, or at least being a dash. And also Sunny Day, that could work as a buff, okay? And its second moveset could include Lava Plume as a purely offensive attack, and also Inferno, right? Something very offensive. So I think those could be good moveset options for this Pokemon. And its ultimate attack could be based on something more towards the eruption. Yeah, like perhaps summoning a eruption in the middle of the field and causing damage to all the enemies in the area. Next one yet from Generation 2 is Feraligatr, which in my opinion could be a water type melee all-rounder. That's because its base stats highlights are attack and defense. So it's good to attack, it's good to defense, so it's good to do anything, right? So pretty much in water type all-rounder Pokemon melee, such as one of the most recent releases, Azumarill. And its moveset could be made of moves such as Rain Dance for buff, and also Aqua Tail. And a second option could include something like Water Pulse and Hydro Pump. And other than Rain Dance, all the other ones are already present in the game somehow. And although its ultimate attack could be something more towards the Trash move, right? Being a normal type move, but in a way that it causes a lot of damage to a target enemy Pokemon. Okay, so now let's move on to Generation 3, also known as Hoenn. Let's get started with Sceptile, which in my opinion could be a melee speedster grass type Pokemon. Since base stats highlights are special attack and speed, so definitely being very good for the role, which would make of this Pokemon, at least in my opinion, a sort of grass type Zero Aura. Its movesets could include moves such as Energy Ball, yeah, something more towards the Electric Ball from Pikachu, and also Giga Drain, although a Giga Drain different than the Venusaur or the previous Meganium one. And also another moveset, more aggressive, including Double Team, perhaps something more like towards the one that Greninja has, and Leaf Blade, yeah, being very offensive. And its ultimate attack could go something more towards a Leaf Storm, yeah, being some kind of vortex that goes and delivers a lot of damage in one direction. Next one is going to be Blaziken, and in my opinion it would be a very good firefighting attacker that could work both as ranged and melee, right? That's because its base stats highlights are attack and special attack, so definitely an attacker. And then it would remind me something more like Greninja, right? So Greninja can attack either way, as ranged and as melee. If you too far, you can throw water drops, right? And then if you get too close, it can hit you physically. So I think I would imagine the same thing for Blaziken, being able to throw fireballs, yeah, from the distance, although delivering very powerful kicks if it's close enough. And its movesets could be made of moves such as double kick, and here I imagine something more like the drop kick from Serena, right? Although one that you can use twice in a row, so dashing you forward twice in a row without leaving a slow track behind, right? And also Fire Punch, something more towards the one we can get with Charmeleon. And a second option for a moveset could include the low sweep. In here could work something more like the submission from Machamp, right? Although instead of getting the Pokemon and throwing towards your back, you just hit it and then gets out on the back of the Pokemon. And also overheat, that could be a kind of buff such as we have on Dragonite, right, with the Outrage. And its ultimate attack could be based on the Focus Punch, being a very powerful punch delivered to the ground and causing damage to everyone in an area or something different. Next one within this generation would be Swampert, which in my opinion would be a very good water ground ranged all-rounder, right? That's because its base stats highlights are health points, attack, defense, and special defense. So definitely proving to be very all-rounder, right? And I don't know, but at least for me, it would remind me something more like Dragonite, alright? And its movesets could be based on moves such as Surf and Dig, right? Surf again will be another Surf, so it will be up to them to imagine a way to use it in a different way. Perhaps using it like in a circular way, right? Like in a spiral thing. The wave goes around the Pokemon, yeah? I don't know. Carrying all the enemy Pokemons around you. And then Dig, which in this case could be not a dash, but like a escape move, you know? Like, I don't know, the Pokemon could dig itself, could burrow itself, you know? And then staying there for like a little while in order to wait the attackers to go away or in order to prepare for a trap, right? I think it would be very interesting to see some Dig working like this. And then another moveset could include Rain Dance as a buffer once again, and also Muddy Water that could cause a Pokemon from the opposing team to move very slowly in an area, almost as the smoke screen does, right? But instead of being a held item, this will be a move. And then its ultimate could be based on something like Earthquake, right? I think it would be very, very cool to see a ground type ultimate in this Pokemon. Alright, so now let's move on and talk about the last generation of this video, which is Generation 4. And let's get started with Torterra, alright? Which in my opinion would be a very good grassing ground melee defender, since its base stats highlights are HP, attack, and defense, right? So being something with a very good defense, a very powerful attack, and a lot of HP, which reminds me a lot Snorlax's case, alright? And its movesets could include moves like Earthquake and also Energy Ball, alright? And then a second option for its moveset could include Giga Drain, again in a different way than before, and Safeguard, preventing it to suffer any damage, something kind of what we have on Aegislash. And its ultimate attack, at least in my opinion, could go something more like a Wood Hammer, okay? Like, I don't know, perhaps stunning a bunch of Pokemon in an area. Next one is going to be Infernape, which in my opinion would be a very good melee speedster of the fire and fighting type, right? That's because the base stats highlights are attack, special attack, and speed. So yeah, being very fast and definitely very mortal. Again, remind me something more like a Fire Zero Aura, right? And then as a moveset you could have Power Up Punch that could work as a buff, I don't know, and also Fire Spin, right? That could work pretty much the same way the Rapid Spin works for Blastoise, alright? Although instead of being inside a shell, you know, spitting water, it could become like a Fire Tornado, right? I think it would be very interesting in throwing flames all over the place. And then a second option for a moveset could include Close Combat, like a very powerful one, the way it is on Lucario and Machamp, but also Flame Wheel being also a very important dash, okay? Not necessarily working as a rollout, such as before, as I suggested on Typhlosion, but something that at least would work as a dash, alright? And then its ultimate attack could go something more like the Double Team. So imagine you use your ultimate and then you multiply your Pokemon into 5 of them, you know? Just imagine like conquering an objective with this ultimate. It would be very cool, like 5 copies of your Pokemon, you know, dealing damage and into the team fight at the same time. Yeah, of course, it wouldn't last that long. Alright, and then last but definitely not least for this video, we have Empoleon, right? Which in my opinion would be a very good Water and Steel melee attacker. That's because the base stats highlights are special attack and special defense, right? So it can be a kind of tanker, yet inflicting a lot of damage. And to be honest, there's no one for us to compare to, since so far we have no melee attacker within the game. And then its movesets could include moves such as Brine and Steel Wing, yeah, and I imagine Steel Wing having a fair range, right? Such as, I don't know, the Hyper Beam from Dragonite. And Brine could be a kind of powerful water type move. And another option for its moveset could be something like Metal Claw, something that will have a way shorter range, and Rain Dance that could work as a buff once again. And I think its ultimate attack could be based on something like Rupel. And I know that yet it is a very weak move, but it could be taken way more seriously. It could work something like a Water Vortex that inflicts damage in a very big area and also moves the Pokemon away, forbidding them to move around freely, right? So it would be a very strategic ultimate attack to use when trying to conquering your objectives, right? So that's it. That's at least in my vision how all they started from Generation 2 all the way to Generation 4 could be included into the game, right? So please let me know down in the comments what you think, if you agree with me or if you don't, and if you don't, how would you do it? And of course, if you also want me to release the part 2 of this video, yeah, where we're gonna be covering from the Generation 5 all the way until the Generation 8, aka Unova to Galar, please leave a like, subscribe, and share this video with everyone else that ever wondered how all the starters would be portrayed into the game, alright? And talking about the game, yeah, Pokemon UNITE, it is no secret that you can play on your mobile or your Switch console, yeah? But I would like to tell you that now you also have the option of playing it as a board game, yeah, within the tabletop simulator, right? So if you want to learn more about the board game version of the Pokemon UNITE, I'm also going to be leaving the video up there in the cards for you to check it out. So don't forget to ring the bell in order to get notified about new videos, including the part 2 of this series, alright? I hope you guys enjoyed what we're talking about today in this video, and I see you in the next one.